That's 97%. That was my first controversial statement in a society where people don't like to be held accountable. They love feel good over scientific. If you don't pool your resources, you will not change your circumstance because you don't have enough to change the circumstance. Either you're a person who cares about the whole surviving, or you just care about the one surviving. But if you're isolated in the life of it, you're not protected anyway. You can be overtaken easily because you stand alone. United we stand, divided we fall. If you're by yourself, you can fall easily at the hands of a one percenter. Easily. Their laws, the one percenters sets the laws, they set the rules. They can break the laws. The laws apply to the 97 and the two percenters. The laws don't oftentimes apply to the one percenters. That's why you see, the same crime, different penalties. The one percenter said so. They're unapologetic. Apologize to who? The 97 percenters? Why would they do that? They don't have to, because they know that the 97 percenters will never rise up and decide to um, boycott for a long period of time. They'll be back. The one percenters understand that. Where are they going to go? We provide their food, their clothing, their housing. Where are they going to go? And they like shiny things too much. Something goes down, they'll show you a new coach or show you a shiny thing. They're complaining about hiring. And then the Texans hired Lovey Smith. Now watch that temper some of the 97 percenters feelings. They're not going to talk as much because it's like, okay, well, okay, you hired one, so that's good. They're not going to connect the dots though. Okay, well, that's that. I thank you so much for being with me. We're going to finish this up in as quickly as possible. Okay. Now, our expectations is to restore kingdom order and put that crown on your head. We're going to restore royal titles to you and your family. But you have to understand that royal titles are not given. Those things are earned. They're not feel good. They're scientific. That's how you're going to earn them. And we're talking about titles such as kings. We want every male to become the king in your space, the queen in your space, royal titles, the top of the class, the top of society. And then we want our boys and our girls to be inherit that princess and that prince title, walk in royalty. But it's not given, it's earned. You're going to have to walk it out, go earn it, go compete. Okay, learn how to do so. And if you don't have anyone around you who can teach you how to do so, ask until you get the right person who can explain it and show you the way. Okay, now we're restoring you and putting you to a royal place, but you need to know how kings operate, how royalty operate. Okay, kings. Kings think like kings. Kings walk like kings. Kings talk like kings, and kings do not flinch in the presence of adversity. They don't flinch. They do what they need to do. They walk like kings, they think like kings, they talk like kings, and they do not flinch. Kings can they can execute well under pressure. They exercise too. But kings can execute well under pressure. Bottom line, kings do king-ish. Kings do king-ish. That's what they do. And they understand what that is. Kings make money moves. They make money moves, like Cardi B said. Money moves, baby. That's what it is. They do king-ish and they make money moves. So if you're selfish and you don't understand how to break out, find the problem, find the resolution. Find the resolution, guys. And my number one advice to everyone wanting to excel in a thing, partner. Partner with people. Find your economic team. It's going to be a small group of people who think like you, who's interested in some of the same things. And you may not even know them. Don't be so afraid of losing your stuff that you fail to connect with people who's going to help you expedite your growth and increase the probability of your business even surviving. If you do it alone, it's going to be tough unless you have just a lot of resources. Okay. Now, kings make money moves. Now, these are the king, and I want to know if you qualify. Tell yourself, okay, these are the traits of a king. The question is, do you qualify? Tell the truth. Now, the first one, most people aren't going to have because it's just what it is. A king, the first trait of a king is the king has a crown, a throne, and a providence that they rule over. First thing, are you a king? Are you a queen? Are you a prince? Are you a princess? They have a crown, a throne, and a rule. They're ruling over a providence. If nobody's following you, then you don't have a providence that you have influence over. And it's not working for you. And when I say providence, I'm not just talking your family. Like, no, who's following, who's outside of that? A kingdom is a kingdom, a house is a house. And if you think on such little levels, then you'll never be a king because that's what kings take care of more than just their family. That's why they're kings. They have a kingdom. Okay. Next, kings never think about themselves. Kings never think about just themselves. They have a kingdom. They're always thinking about maintaining stability in their kingdom. Point three, kings assure and defend peace and order for everyone at all times. Kings assure and defend peace and order for everyone at all times. They go fight battles or they send the army out to handle that. They defend peace and order for everyone in their kingdom at all times. So don't just be involved in your house, be concerned with your neighborhood because your house can be overtaken because your neighborhood has fallen. And that's the way it goes. If you don't worry about the kids next door and the kids down the street, those very well could be the same kids that come and take advantage of your house. And you're going to feel that pressure. So that's why we want kings to be involved with more than just your own independent house. Okay. Now, kings believe in prosperity for all. Everyone inside of their kingdom, everyone inside of their kingdom has to be prosperous. Prosperity just means faring well, to fare well on your journey. Kings expect for all the people in their kingdom to fare well on their journey, to be prosperous. Okay? Kings provide direction and vision. The king's order. The king's order. Kings provide direction and vision for those in his kingdom. Next, kings develop citizens. For whatever role that they play in the community or in their kingdom, kings develop its citizens that's in his kingdom. So whether you have a family, you have to develop them. want them to be educated, want them to be woke, want them to be healthy, want them to be involved in community, want them to be accountable. You have to nurture that. You can't just talk it, snap your fingers, and think those things are going to manifest. Don't work like that. Okay? Kings develop their citizens in their kingdom. Also, kings have self control, they have temperance, they understand the big picture, they have self control. Next, kings leave legacies. Kings leave legacies. When they die, their legacies, their children inherit the throne. And the prosperity that that king acquired or left behind, their children and their kingdom continue to manifest the wealth that that king left behind. Legacy. Leave something behind. Die for something. Be willing to put your life on the line for something that is that important. Okay? Leave something behind. The Bible even says, hey, a good man leaves an inheritance for his children's children. So that means don't gobble everything up in your lifetime. Deion Sanders said, he told his kids, hey, I'm worth more to you alive than I am dead. So take care of me. Keep me alive. Because Primetime said, I'm going to swipe every nickel off my card, you know, before I die. So be around, be relational, so his kids can partake in the goodness that he can provide instead of waiting for him to die and then inherit the monies that Dion left. But he was just joking, I hope. Okay. The last two traits of a king has integrity and a king is courageous. Kings are courageous. Now, remember, these are traits of all of the entire royal family. Now, while everybody's not the king, everyone's not the queen, everyone's not the princess, and everyone is not the prince. So play your role, and do it with excellence. Okay? Kings are courageous, they're not afraid. Kings have integrity. There are rules in these streets that we all go by. Who was that Cool Breeze song? There are rules in these streets that we all go by. Yeah, that song was hitting back in the day. Anywho, yeah, so that those are the traits of a king. So ask yourself, are you a king? So when this video is over, get an opportunity to go back through it and define these things for yourself. Do you have a throne? I'm not going to go through all those, but rewind the video and measure yourself and see if you are worthy of being a king. Okay? Wow, I need to hurry up and get done with this stuff. All right. Um, I'm gonna stick a pin in this because I've went through it pretty. There's quite a bit more that I have to cover, and we don't have the time to do that. So I'm going to complete. One second. Wow. Okay. Shared effort. Oh, this was quite a bit. So I'm going to finish this last section, and then we're going to table this for the next session. Okay. All right. The last section that we're going to cover is adjustment. Still talking about the traits of a king. We went through those traits, but now let's talk about some of the things that kings absolutely have to do as well. Okay. And just to give you more of an understanding on what this whole King Jeff podcast is about and this royal group that we're raising you and challenging you to walk and live up to, this is more of that information. You need an attitude adjustment to be a king or queen or just to be royal. Royalty sometimes is inherited, but what if you didn't inherit it? You still have a crown that you have to go out and claim. You have to go take it. You don't ask for permission, go and take it, because everybody else is worrying about them. It's your job to worry about you. Go get your crown. Go get your title. Being passive will get you in a servant's position. You be subjugated, and everybody else who earned their crown will be stepping on you. You understand? Okay, so babies come out selfish. They only think about themselves. They want what they want, and it's understandable. They're completely dependent. So I understand why they're only thinking about themselves. So we don't want you to remain a baby. Kings have to adjust their attitudes so that they think keenly. All of those traits that I just talked about, I don't care if you're a beta man, you're an alpha man, whatever it is that you are, and everything in between. You're metrosexual, sapio, you're sexual, whatever all those things are. You gotta elevate. We're gonna talk about in the future all of those areas that you have to elevate in. Like the next episode was going to uh, was going to discuss our 7 pillars. We may have to adjust that, but we'll come back to you and let you know what we're going to do. But you have to have an attitude adjustment to be a king. Your attitude is what sets you apart. Don't ask for permission. As I said before, your attitude is what sets it apart. Don't ask for permission. Kings go take it. If you're not a king, that means you're going to be a squire, which is still decent ranking, but it's not royal. The king, the queen, and the emperor, those are the top people. The emperor is actually above king and queen. Like an emperor is over it all. There could be a king in the east of the place and a king in the west of the place, but the emperor tells them all what to do, king and queen. Okay? So, your attitude is what sets you apart. Get that attitude of intentionality. Get that dog attitude like, I'm not going to be denied. I'm not going to be socialized at the bottom, and I'm going to be resourceful to find my way out. You got it? Because no one's giving you a crown. Nobody's going to give you a crown. So crown yourself. Do what I did. I was unlikely. I crowned myself. God showed me how he was going to use me, and I trust him. So I followed directions and I just walk in it. All right. So next, you have to walk in it. You have to walk in it. Act like a king, walk like a king, think like a king, talk like a king. You got to walk in it. And soon everybody around will recognize who you are. Walk in it. Chin held high, chest out, shoulders back, attitude, mental focus, extreme confidence, but not overconfident, while being humble at the same time, and standing on your ground, standing on your morals, not wavering. Next, a king is sometimes considered like alpha males, like that top male type guy, that controlling type guy. But it doesn't matter what your temperament is, because that's something you have to overcome anyway. Your temperament could hold you down. Even an alpha male who's selfish isn't a king. A beta male who's selfish isn't a king. The alpha can't get so confident in his strengths that he loses focus on those traits of a king. Overconfidence can do that. And then the betas can't be so submissive or passive and, considerate that they waive their right as king for comfort. So beta males, don't be passive because you won't be king if you do. In other words, be you, but when you have to perform a task as king, you execute what you have to execute to get what it is that you want. Okay? Now let's say that you're a alpha male. Let's say that you're a beta male or female or prince or princess in a room full of others who are high performing too. What then? If you're a alpha male in a room full of alpha males, are you still royalty? Do you reign at the top or do you simmer down? Likewise, ladies, kids, in a room full of valedictorians, can the kid from the impoverished school who's the valedictorian still stand in the presence of the valedictorian from a affluent school who's had all of the necessities of life and the pleasures of life provided them? Can you compete? Are you still king or royal? My answer is yes. In a room full of alphas, I still operate at the top, and you're being encouraged to do it as well. Can you still be king? Where do you rank? In every room, I'm always at the top of the food chain, just like I said. One of the top dogs, or I'm the top dog of one of them. And you always want to be amongst them. Remember, your mind is the beginning of it all. Believing that you are and it manifesting because your belief will tap into your motivation and it's your motivation that's inside of you that's going to provoke you, and compel you to move and do the things that you have to do to be royal. Okay? All kings know who they are. It's a mind game, guys. All kings and queens know who they are. Royalty knows their royalty. Okay? So in every room, be royal. All right? Last two things, kings never waste time. Kings never waste time and they never walk around flexing their muscles for nothing. They don't flex their muscles for nothing. They don't walk around declaring, I'm the king. They don't do that silly stuff. They walk in royalty. They don't have to say those things. They just be because they are. And that's what we're expecting you to graduate to. But we're going to show you some absolute necessary tools. We're going to give you some necessary tools, beginning with this. And this isn't to make money, this is to get this written documents in all of our hands so that we can improve our culture. Remember? Written document. That's the third part of culture. That's very important. Okay. Last factor on what kings do. Everybody recognizes their essence. In a room full of alphas, you're still supposed to understand that you're king. You're amongst the top dogs. You're royal. Everyone recognizes their essence. Again, what's understood does not have to be explained. Everyone understands their essence. Okay? What's understood don't have to be explained, guys. If you're a king, queen, prince, princess, walk in royalty. This is the King Jeff podcast, and that's what we're doing. Partnering with like-minded people, establishing the culture that's acceptable. We're creating royal movements to create royalty, royal mentalities worldwide, worldwide. And we're putting written documents in people's hands to assure lifelong health and lifelong prosperity. Lifelong health and lifelong prosperity. Okay, lastly, whew, before you leave, I would like to ask you to, again, subscribe to the channel, like and share this video, click that notarization bell, and buy a copy of The Matrix Project from the Amazon bookstore. The Matrix Project, The Way to Power is the subtitle. The Matrix Project by Jeffrey Drummer. The Matrix Project, The Way to Power. It's an interactive workbook that your family has to get. Has to get it because it gives you a well-structured, practical plan to empower your family and change your whole world. Your legacy will be secured. But I'd like to thank you again. I love you guys. Um, um, Thank you so much. We're going to see you guys again really soon, and keep like ring that notification bell, and we will be seeing you soon. Love you. God bless. Peace. The King Jeff Podcast.